Have you ever wondered why your career is thriving, but the value of your investment portfolio remains relatively stagnant? If you want to know where you went wrong, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll talk about the mistakes you made and give helpful advice to improve your situation. We all know the basics of personal finance, such as saving money, living within your means, and investing for the future. However, sometimes life gets hard and we end up in a financial bind without realizing it. In most cases, poor financial education could keep you from reaching your financial goals. Studies on financial literacy have shown that most people need help understanding or knowing how to use even the most basic economic ideas or products. A lack of financial literacy education is responsible for poor money management skills and bad financial planning. So, if you're unsure of your financial status, here are 6 warning signs indicating you need financial literacy classes. Sign number 6. You live paycheck to paycheck. If you always run out of money every month before all your bills are paid, if you're broke a week after getting paid, and if you're constantly stressed about money, this is a sign that you need to improve your financial literacy. Living paycheck to paycheck is never a good idea, and it can be risky. If you spend all your money on bills and necessities, you face the risk of financial ruin, and you won't be able to put money aside, so any unforeseen expense could put you in a difficult spot. Unfortunately, recent research has shown that most people in the United States live from paycheck to paycheck. It's not just a problem for Americans with low incomes, but for people of all income levels. A report by Lending Club states that 64.4% of Americans live from paycheck to paycheck. While that's challenging enough, many also have trouble paying their bills. The report found that 23.8% of Americans have trouble paying their bills, while 40.5% live paycheck to paycheck but don't have trouble paying their bills. So, how can you break this cycle? Habits are difficult to break, especially when imposed on you due to your financial situation. If your current income is barely enough to cover your bills, you may feel like living paycheck to paycheck is your only option. Luckily, you can break out of this cycle. And here's how you can go about it. If you don't have a bank account or can barely keep a minimum balance, you should track your monthly expenses to understand how you spend your money. You might find that you're spending more than you realize in some areas, and making a few adjustments could help you save money. To keep track of your spending, you should make a budget so that you are aware of your earnings and expenses. Making a budget doesn't have to be a tiresome task you avoid at all costs. You can use several budgeting apps like Mint, Good Budget, Every Dollar, Personal Capital, and many others you can find online. In addition, you can look for other ways to increase your income. Though financial habits play a significant role in whether you live paycheck to paycheck, your income is also necessary. If you can negotiate a raise, switch jobs to make more money, or start earning money on the side, it can make a big difference in your financial situation. Just make sure you plan how you'll spend any extra money to get the most out of it. It takes effort to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck and to form new habits. While it will not be easy, you will end up in a far more secure financial situation. Sign 5. You are not saving for retirement. We all want our golden years to be easy and comfortable, don't we? For most people, retiring with enough money for basic living expenses and other luxuries is ideal. However, the truth is a secure retirement is not guaranteed. It takes a lot of effort, and you must start planning for it once you get your first paycheck. The smartest thing you can do is start saving as soon as possible for your retirement. The sooner you begin saving, the sooner your funds will start earning interest, and the better off you'll be financially when you retire. As you start to plan for retirement, there are a few questions you should think about carefully, because your answers will help you figure out how much you'll need to save to live the life you want. For instance, will you and your spouse both retire at the same time? Will you travel when you retire to see your grandchildren or the world? When you retire, will you need to buy another car? What kinds of home maintenance will need to be done during that time? What new costs like medications or care in a nursing home or hospice will you have to plan for? Having more information will help you develop a better plan for saving money. Savings plans are hard to come up with unless you try to estimate how much money you'll need. For this reason, most experts state that for each year you spend in retirement, you'll need 70% of your average annual income. In that case, how do you go about planning for retirement? There are a variety of options for retirement planning. You can use a 401k through your employer or an individual retirement account. But no matter how you choose to save, you should be aware of the risks. If you haven't saved money yet, you should envision the lifestyle you want to live when you retire. That should motivate you to start saving right away. Sign 4. You don't have any savings to cover emergency expenses or needs. You just got into an accident and you need emergency surgery right away, but you don't have insurance to pay for it. Do you have money stashed away somewhere for emergencies, or will you incur more debt by borrowing? Living without saving money for emergencies has almost become normal in our society. As a result, many people are just one paycheck away from financial ruin. Unfortunately, it happens more often than most people realize. Saving money is one of the hidden secrets of success. As millions of Americans have recently discovered, your credit line and credit cards are not limitless sources of income. They have limits that are subject to reduction or cancellation at any time. They can be costly, and it's unwise to rely solely on them. If you don't have your savings to fall back on, dealing with a drop in income or an unexpected expense can be hard when you rely on credit for the basics. Therefore, making your own financial safety net is much wiser by putting away enough money to cover 1 to 3 months of expenses, although 6 months should be the ideal target. Many people also don't know that having savings is one of the few tricks for getting out of debt. If you don't have an emergency fund, you'll have to use your credit cards or line of credit once or twice a month to cover unexpected expenses, putting you in more debt, which could be hard to get out of. Experts recommend having at least 6 months of living expenses in an emergency fund, which may seem like a lot. However, you can start with a smaller goal and then increase your target each time you achieve a savings goal. Put your emergency fund in a savings account with a high interest rate and easy access. Since an emergency can happen at any time, having quick access is crucial, so it shouldn't be tied up in a long-term investment fund. Furthermore, it should be kept in a separate account from the one you use daily so you won't be tempted to use it. Saving for emergencies should not be underestimated. It could help you survive financial devastation or save you from severe debt. So, start working on it now. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more related content. Thank you very much. Sign 3. You think learning about money is boring. If you find learning about money boring, you are probably not doing it. And this could be the cause of your financial illiteracy. What's even sadder is the fact that there are so many people who feel the same way. One of the common mistakes that people make is assuming that learning about money will always be boring. This is not true, and there are plenty of ways to make it a little more interesting. For instance, if you didn't like how someone tried to explain how to manage money to you in the past, you should start doing your own research. This way, you can look up anything you want, learn at your own pace, and find the answers you need. You have to go out and look for the information. Furthermore, you can enhance your financial management skills by picking up a book, reading an article, or listening to a podcast. Don't limit yourself to just one method. Explore all your options. Multiple studies of wealthy people have shown that they like learning independently and reading to know more about the world. If it works for them, it could work for you too. Alternatively, you could also talk to a professional. There are many people who can teach you about money, and you can find them on LinkedIn and other similar sites. Most of the time, they are experts in a specific area, so check for their portfolio before reaching out. Although getting help from a professional won't be cheap, but it might be just what you need to learn finance basics. Money is an essential aspect of our lives, so you must do whatever it takes to learn about it. Sign number 2. You have no idea what your credit score does, much less where it is. Your credit score is a 3-digit number based on the information in your credit report. It shows your trustworthiness and helps lenders decide if they will lend you money. This can make all the difference when it's time to make a significant purchase like a house or a car. However, if you do not understand or know how it works, it could lead to substantial financial ruin. Sadly, this is the reality for most people. To some people, poor credit may feel like a life sentence, and yet raising that crucial number is easier than you think. Fixing your credit is a simple process that does not require a financial background or a 6-figure income. Instead, you can do it independently with the help of the available resources. However, to do that, you must understand what's on your credit report and the factors determining your credit rating. You can find out your credit scores by requesting a free copy of your credit report from the Annual Credit Report website. Once you obtain it, examine it to determine the areas of your credit and payment history affecting your credit score. Also, look for mistakes like the wrong name or address, accounts you don't recognize, or signs of identity theft or fraud. Once you know your credit score, you should start paying on time. Furthermore, to learn the ins and outs of credit reports, credit scores, and how to improve your credit score, you can check out the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website. Additionally, you can perform online searches for credible sites that offer short articles on credit scores, credit cards, loans, and specific factors you can work on to improve your credit. Raising your credit score will take a while. It depends on many things, but it will take time. A new bank account or credit card can take a few weeks to show up on your credit report. You may also have to wait a few months for new accounts to start helping your credit score, so you have to be patient. If you keep paying your bills on time, your credit score will eventually improve. Sign 1. You don't understand how interest works. You've probably heard the term interest, but do you know what it means and how it works? If not, then you are like most people. According to Value Penguin, 69% of Americans need help understanding interest, and this is quite sad. Knowing how interest works is an important concept when dealing with money. After all, interest can grow your money and help you save thousands or even millions of dollars. On the other hand, a high interest rate can make it hard for you to pay off your credit card debt. Most credit card interest rates are more than 20% annual percentage rate. With such high rates, more than half of every minimum payment you make will go toward interest charges. That can make it hard or even impossible to pay off your debt. So, if you want to get out of debt, you first need to call your creditors and try to get lower interest rates on your credit cards. And you can only do this if you have basic knowledge of how interest works. If your creditors aren't willing to work with you to lower your credit card's annual percentage rate, you need to look for other ways to get out of debt. If your creditors don't compromise, there are different ways to cut or eliminate interest charges. Depending on your credit score, debt, and overall financial situation, you can transfer your credit card balances, consolidate with a personal loan, or enroll in a debt management program. In conclusion, if you resonated with any of the signs, it means you need to pull up your socks. Some of these issues are warnings, while others demand immediate attention. If you resonate with all, it's a sign that you have a poor financial education, and this can mess up your finances. Luckily, you can always improve your financial skills by using the many resources available online. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching and staying with me till the end. If you have any comments or thoughts you would like to share, please do so in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Until next time, have a great day.